sometimes that audio is a little bit soft, so what you're going to want to do next is go over to settings, then go over into devices, audio devices, go to microphone level, and you're going to want to adjust that dial about all the way up, so that way your voice audio is over the gameplay so you can be heard clearly. Now that you're all set to go, you can go into a game. I chose to play 2K because it's basketball season, got Warriors and Cavs going up against each other. It's super exciting stuff. So I decided to play them against each other for my gameplay, and I want to start recording it. So to record, I need to look at my controller and double tap the share button. When I do that, you'll see a little pop-up message on screen that lets me know that I'm recording my gameplay now. So I can just do my thing, play the basketball game for a little bit, get some gameplay footage, really cool, fun, and then when I'm done recording, I can double tap that share button again, and it will stop my recording, as you can see on the screen. So now you got your gameplay recorded, you gotta put these files somewhere. So an excellent app that I recommend you guys download that is completely free off the PlayStation Store is called SHAREfactory. This application allows you to edit the videos that you recorded with a bunch of overlays and music, an assortment of different things. Like, I can go in more detail on how to use this app. If you guys want me to, let me know in the comments below, and I can. But this is an excellent free tool that you can use on your PlayStation to let you edit your videos and then upload them straight to YouTube, or anywhere you want for that matter. If you want to edit that gameplay you have on your computer with the editing software you have, you want to be able to put it on a flash drive. Now, when I was first trying to figure out how to get the gameplay onto my flash drive, I was getting a lot of errors that actually prohibited me from getting the gameplay off of the PS. I had to format the flash drive, so I would recommend to you guys to back up your drive before you go through with this process, because it'll erase all your data. So what I had to do was go into my settings, go to the devices, go to USB storages, and then select the drive that I had just put into the PlayStation. After that, I need to press options, and I need to format this drive as an ex-FAT drive. So once I do that, it erases all the data on the drive, so that's what I'm saying, make sure you back up, because doing this allows the drive to get those gameplay files. Now that I have my flash drive formatted correctly, I can now go into my library and find the application called Capture Gallery. Here it has all the gameplay that I have recorded on multiple games, and I can look for the gameplay that I want to be carried over to the flash drive. So once I find that, I want to go into my options and then go to copy to USB storage device. After I select all the files I want carried over to the flash drive, I just select copy, and then the next page shows me the pathing of the folders on the flash drive, and then I can just select OK from there. And now I just wait for the files to get transferred over to the drive. Once the files are completely transferred to the USB drive, I can remove it from the PlayStation 4, and then I can move it over to my computer. From there, we just want to find a folder that we can drag those files we got from the PS4 to the flash drive over to the computer. And now that I have the files on my own computer, I can put them into Sony Vegas if I want, which is the main editing software I use personally for my videos. Or if I'm really feeling courageous, I can use something like Google Drive, so that way I can access the video files on my tablet or mobile phone and use editing apps on there. Personally, with all the editing options I listed for you guys, I like the computer editing tool the best, because that way you have more control over how your video turns out. You can upload it straight to YouTube using the computer, so that way you can add all those annotations and in-screen elements or cards that you want really easily. It's really straightforward from there. Editing on an app, I feel, is just kind of limited, and it's just kind of difficult. You're trying to edit a video on a small screen, but that's all you have. It works, but...
New from Propel, a boost to your workout water. Electrolytes meet vitamins B, C, and D. With no artificial sweeteners, this is the new Propel Vitamin Boost.
Hey everyone, I'm starting out. I know you guys don't want to wait. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoy this video. Let's get right into it. So I'm going to be using my last project as like a guideline. In order to create a project, you obviously just have to go to new project, and that's basically it. So right now, I'm just going to be showing the basics of SHAREfactory. So the number one thing you always have to know is the X button. Once you press X, it's going to give you a few options: add clip, add track to, add music layout, add filter, add overlay. So add clip is obviously, if you go to a clip, it's just going to come up all your recordings that you recorded using the double tap of the share button. Now, add screenshot is obviously the same thing. You just take a screenshot and you can add it in here, and the screenshot lasts for as long as you choose it to. So you choose a screenshot. I have PlayStation 4 art. I can go over here, trim the clip to make it very long or just make it very short. Or I could use the split clip to make it shorter than that, and then it just can be that size. But right now, I'm just going to delete that, and I'll go into the square button later. But track 2 is, say you want to do a record audio. You could do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, or you can just press record, and then you'll start recording. Alright, hold on, let me just delete that. Okay, so add track 2, I can go into this later, add clip, how to add a clip. This has to do with green screens. It's actually very complicated. I'm not going to go into that right now, but I'm sure there's a video on YouTube of how to do that. But if you guys want me to go more in depth, I might make a short video on Instagram just showing it really quickly, because I'm not sure if I'll make a whole YouTube video on it. Add music. There's a bunch of default musics that the PlayStation and SHAREfactory give you, but in order to get songs from your USB, you have to make a SHAREfactory. Listen closely right now. Make a SHAREfactory folder. It's called SHAREfactory, as you can see right now, actually. Yeah, there you go. You need to make a folder called SHAREfactory, and then have a folder called music. Not music folder, just music. Make sure all the caps and everything is the same. Don't change anything. And then import all your songs onto the music folder on the same USB and put it into your PS4. And once you press import from USB, all the songs will come up. So I only have like 5 different songs that I usually use for my videos. Yeah, I usually use like comp songs for whatever. And as you can see, I used pan zoom. Or actually, I'll go into that later. Sorry about that. But add overlay. This is just like text and theme stickers and like I don't know, just camera and just different like images that you can use. Stickers. There you go. Now the next thing is add filter. This is actually really important opinion, and no one usually uses this. But when I'll be going. This is what I meant by the green screen, by the way. How to use that? It has a green screen background. But when you press X and you go to add filter, I saturate all of my clips because it just makes them look so much brighter. It's absolutely ridiculous. So all of these are already saturated though. So I would do a comparison, but I obviously don't have any clips that are not saturated. Maybe this is not saturated. There you go. I don't know if you even told the difference, but yeah, that's it. Add layout. I never usually use this feature. It's up to you. I guess it just like makes the clips like this. I don't know, it's up to you guys. Just like keep that in mind if you want to. Now, I don't even know. I'll just keep it like that because I don't know what that is. Okay. Now add transition, this is really, really important. So I already have a bunch of clips. Alright, so once you press X on a clip that you already don't have a transition. Once you press on a clip, it's going to be the transition to the next clip to the right of it. So if I want to add a transition, I go over here and then fade through color, blur fade. Now in my opinion, the best ones are fade through color, like not all the time. So if I want to add a transition, keep that in mind if you want to. Now I don't even know, I'll just keep it like that because I don't know what that is. Okay, now add transition, this is really, really important. So I already have a bunch of clips. Alright, so once you press X on a clip that you already don't have a transition, once you press on a clip, it's going to be the transition to the next clip to the right of it. So if I want to add a transition, I go over here and then fade through color, blur fade. Now, in my opinion, the best ones are fade through color, like not all the time though, but when you're going from clip to clip during gameplay, I usually would use blur fade or HSB fade, and maybe even cross fade. I haven't really used this one. I don't know why. I mostly just use blur and HSB. But yeah, that's all of the X button. What the X button does when you click on SHAREfactory, now let's go into square. So square, there's a lot here. Is blur and HSB. I go over here and then fade through color. And no, I'll just keep it like that because I don't know what that is. Okay. Now add transition, this is really, really important. So I already have a bunch of clips. Alright, so once you press X on a clip that you already don't have a transition, once you press on a clip, it's going to be the transition to the next clip to the right of it. So if I want to add a transition, I go over here and then fade through color, blur fade. Now, in my opinion, the best ones are fade through color, like not all the time though, but when you're going from clip to clip during gameplay, I usually would use blur fade or HSB fade, and maybe even cross fade. I haven't really use this one. I don't know why. I mostly just use blur and HSB. But yeah, that's all of the X button. What the X button does when you click on SHAREfactory, now it's going to square.